Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. It's great to be back. I missed our viewers.
I'm Tony Kornheiser. They're not here. We're on ESPN too.
Oh, you think they can't find us because you got rabbit ears at your house, Ralph Cramden?
No, they can find us. I'm not sure they want to find us. That's the part I'm saying. I don't know if they want to. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Yeah, welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, the Brewers pass the Cubs and Caleb Williams gets subbed out, which makes it a tough day for the return of the man we have all been missing, Mr. Michael Wilbon. All right. But we begin today with another setback at quarterback for the New York Jets. No, not Aaron Rodgers. He's gone. This time it's Justin Fields, who was carted off the practice field, later diagnosed with a dislocated toe on his right foot, his plant foot. The Jets are listing Fields as day-to-day and expect him to be ready to go week one. Fields is a running quarterback, so a dislocated toe may mean more to Fields than to a pocket quarterback like Tom Brady. Wilbon, you love Fields. How concerning should this injury be to the Jets?
Well, they should be concerned anytime your starting quarterback has a leg injury and a foot injury, and as you mentioned, a guy who can run for 1,000 yards like Justin Fields, but he's still young. What is Fields now? Maybe 26-ish. And he's still athletic, and he still probably can get over this more quickly than, say, Aaron Rodgers, who's 438 years old, who you mentioned earlier. And so, yeah, Tony, look, it's July. Can we pipe down? And by the way, people, you know, some of the reporting that I hate from really good reporters at every network and every outlet and every newspaper, if there's still remaining any, is that people are healthy now, and they declare players healthy now, as if there's not week 1 and week 2 and week 8 and week 11. Players, particularly in football, get hurt. That's what happens. You don't want to start that way with Justin Fields and the Jets, your franchise of your youth who seem cursed. But let's just pipe down and see where it goes, and day-to-day means day-to-day.
So I had a doctor's appointment this morning, and so I was incommunicado. When I got out, I looked at my phone. I had a text from my friend Adam. This is the extent of the text. I'm quoting it. Jets are cursed. It just doesn't stop. I had no idea, Mike, what he was talking about. Obviously, I do now. But I think that sentiment is shared by Jets fans all over, that they're a cursed team.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to have a dislocated toe when you use your feet to run and move around because you're that kind of quarterback. You obviously don't want to have something like that because there's no DH in football. You can't slide to another position. You got to be a quarterback. That's what you are. I am imagining, Mike, that if it's less significant if you're an offensive guard. You know, you can live with the fact that one of your toes is broken. It's more significant, obviously, when you're a quarterback. And for those old enough to remember, and you are, and I am, and not many others, the great Dizzy Dean basically lost his career as a pitcher because of a broken toe. He had won 30 games a year or two before, broke a toe, and was essentially done. I don't think that's going to happen here. I think that Fields is going to be fine. But Mike, if you're a Jets fan, and you remember just a couple of years ago, Aaron Rodgers, four plays, and he's out for the year. And you see a guy being carted off, you think you're cursed. You do. You think you're cursed.
Tony, carted off might be the most serious one, but it might have been a precaution. And there's so much you just don't know. And you're right. I love Justin Fields in any uniform. I hope he gets healthy quickly.
It's time for toss-up. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves, finishes the show, then faces a forlorn Friday without work and wonders whether he's used his craft as an escape from emotional intimacy with those who love him. But he also looks forward to watching the Nats and the Twins. What's first?
Toss-up. Which quarterback do you expect more from this season? Jayden Daniels or Caleb Williams?
Okay, well, certainly the Bears expect more from Caleb Williams. As we talked about yesterday on the show, they are expecting 4,000 passing yards and a 70% completion record. As you know, Mike, the Bears have been in business for over 100 years. Not one time have they had 4,000 yards from a quarterback. Not one time have they had a 70% completion record from a quarterback. So good luck on that. Jayden Daniels was better last year as a rookie than Caleb Williams was. He won the Rookie of the Year over Caleb Williams. He passed for almost 3,600 yards and had 69% completion record. I think it's going to hurt him if Terry McLaurin isn't there. I also think that will probably be resolved. So if you're asking me to answer this question, I'm going to say Caleb Williams, because I think there's greater movement up for him that's possible than Jayden Daniels. And I also think, Mike, the league has had a year to look at Jayden Daniels, and they're going to come up with specialized defenses for Jayden Daniels. If the next question is who would you rather have, I would still take Jayden Daniels, but it's by a very thin margin.
Jayden Daniels is going to be hard for him to have a better year than he had last year. You mentioned what he had. Let me just see C.J. Stroud on this, who was great as a rookie and had some backsliding. Because everybody almost has some backsliding even after a great rookie year. And even the people who played football, who are all on the airways, act like they don't know this. And they just want to go with the analytics and a forward projection. Stop. Jayden Daniels likely to not have as good a year. And he might be better. He might be the MVP, but not likely. Caleb Williams, and people once again, you talk about 4,000 yards. Caleb Williams, with no offensive line and no coaching to speak of, threw for 3,500 yards last year. 2 better games, he'd have gotten to 4,000 with, let me say it again, no coaching and no line. He has a dramatically improved line. He has weapons, and he's a coach who threw the first team out of practice. Good. That's what he ought to do. Thank you, Ben Johnson. It's called getting better. It's called coaching. That's what Caleb Williams is going to have the benefit of this year. I don't care whether he throws for 4,000 yards. I want the team to get better and him to get better. He will, and they will.
What's next?
Toss up worst throwback uniforms, the Steelers or the Packers?
Okay, so I don't know how many people have seen these. I'm sure that everyone is going to see them now. They're both terrible uniforms. You cannot put the Steelers in canary yellow jerseys. You have to have some black in those jerseys. That's what people associate with the Steelers. And that thing, that design on the front chest of the Steelers throwback uniforms, it looks like they have a backpack strapped to their chest. It's a very odd-looking thing. Now, I will also tell you the Packers is worse for this particular reason. It's blue. It looks like the University of Pittsburgh. The Packers are green. What are you throwing back to blue for? On the other hand, I do like the helmets, because the helmets are designed to look like old-time leather helmets, and to me, that is creative. Whereas what the Steelers have done is they've taken their contemporary logo and slapped it on the back of the helmet. So it's not a throwback. They didn't have that logo in the 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s or 60s. You can't actually do that. That feels like cheating to me.
Tony, you have me come back today off a little mini break, and you get me screaming about the Brewers. You start the show with one set of cheeseheads. Then you include the Packers, the real cheeseheads. I'm going to recuse myself there. I'm not going to recuse myself from attacking the marketing people at 345 Park Avenue in New York, because they all should be fired. All of them. Really? Anybody who came up with throwbacks for teams like Steelers, Packers, Bears, Giants, whatever Washington is, teams that are 100 years old, they don't need throwbacks. They sell enough jerseys. It's a disgraceful money grab by the NFL, which, they need more money to sell more jerseys to be like the NBA, who you talked about them crushing on Christmas Day, but yet they're imitating the NBA. Let's have more jerseys. They both look like garbage. You want to do something nice with leather? Then wear the leather helmets. Put the leather helmets, cover the real helmets in leather, and wear those. Marketing people,
it's really nice
get out.
To see.
Get out.
It's really nice to see that your time away has mellowed you and calmed you down and given you the perspective to look at the things you've said before and perhaps
you
back
threw raw
away a
meat
little
in front of me.
We should note the passing of Hulk Hogan at the age of 71. Hogan, whose real name was Terry Bollea, was the biggest pro wrestling star of the 1980s and beyond. Even non-fans knew Hogan by his golden hair, horseshoe mustache, and shirts that he would invariably tear off. A heel turn eventually followed, and in 2015, the WWE fired Hogan following the leak of an audio tape in which he used the N-word, though the organization later brought him back as an ambassador. That same year, Hogan also won a huge judgment against Gawker, which had published a sex tape featuring him.
Yeah, Tony, that was after my wrestling obsession of the 1960s and 70s when I was a kid. And it seemed to me that Hogan completely ripped off a guy named Billy Superstar Graham, who you'd know if you were a wrestling fan of like the AWA. And then Hogan later in his years, as you mentioned, got involved with some stuff that seemed unsavory at best. So, not really a fan, but I understand he held a large position in wrestling when people obsessed over it, like you said, the 80s and beyond.
I will tell you this, I'm making no value judgments about what he has done, good or bad. But when he walked down the street, he's one of the 5 most recognizable people in the entire country. Hulk Hogan. Everybody knew what he looked like. Everybody had a sense of him. Let's go to the big finish. Dan Campbell ended Lions practice early due to several scuffles. Is that significant?
Not in the least. Bill Belichick spoke at ACC Media Day today. Your takeaway?
My takeaway is that he's going to coach North Carolina, that all this other stuff is irrelevant at the moment, and he's going to be the biggest story in college football. The Rockies beat the Cardinals in Colorado's first shutout in 221 games. You impressed?
Seems like teams get shut out twice a week in the rest of the league, and Colorado's not on the short end, on the good end of any long end. It's a long streak. Aces fever tonight. Caitlin Clark out, still no timetable for her return. Your thoughts?
She's the biggest star in the league, and she's on the show. Biggest star by far. Last one, Venus Williams goes for a second straight win at the DC Open. Do you like her chances?
Not really against this ranked player. If I was there, I'd go see. I want to see Venus Williams play while you still can. And Raducanu beat Osaka today. I love going to that tournament. I'd have been begging Mark Ein for some good seats if I was at home.
We are out of time. We will try to do better the next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
I'm Mike Wilbon. Off till Monday, knuckleheads. Now, SportsCenter.